Comic Book Friends. I'm Travis.
And I'm Ethan.
And this is
Monster Comic Review.
That's right, this is the second half for our comics from March
March
6th, a couple weeks ago. Unless you're watching this a year from now, and then it's a year and a week from now.
Okay.
Anyway, first we're going to talk about Hypernaturals number 9, Boom Studio. What do you think?
That was pretty interesting. I love Sublime in this. That's pretty great. Are you kidding me? I don't think you should have pulled us out of there. Think, well, I had him right where I wanted it.
He falls over, collapses, yeah.
And then I love how later, what's her name? Bombshell? What is
Bombshell. Hardshell.
No.
No, it is Bombshell, isn't it?
Yeah.
No.
The energy lady. The energy manipulation lady who has her husband...
Prisma.
Prisma, yes.
Something like Prisma.
Is it Prisma? I thought Prisma... Who's the fast lady then?
I don't remember. Oh, we're sad, aren't we?
Anyway,
Been a few days.
so while you're looking that up, the energy manipulation lady, whoever she is, who has her husband...
Whose husband was turned
toddlerified.
into a baby, yeah.
When Sublime was all-powerful.
Look at this back history thing. That back history thing was cool. Showing us where, let's see. What's her name?
Okay, Prismatica.
Oh.
Anyway, but,
Of course, who's the speedy girl now? Go ahead, talk.
when Prismatica was,
Trapped.
after she breaks free and she beats up all of his, Tinkerbots, and, she finds, Sublime, and she's like, I'm gonna hurt you, and he's like, that won't be necessary, ow! Right, because she's picking up because he's all injured and stuff, right? I don't know, I was amused by that. I thought that was kind of funny.
The fast lady's name is Bewilder.
Bewilder?
Which
Okay.
makes sense, but I always
Yes,
think
it
it
does.
seems like a weird name to me.
Uh-huh.
But, yeah.
But, I thought that was pretty. Their banter, actually just, all of Sublime's dialogue just is always pretty
Sublime is a
Is a
cool
cool character.
Is a cool villain. He's just
He's awesome.
Yeah. And of course they have to work with him because of course the anti-Sublime
Evil Sublime.
is even worse than
I really think this is an interesting story. I mean, I wonder, did the, is that something that the
the quantum
the quantum,
computer,
yeah,
the Uber
maybe.
AI created just to
prove that it is
that it's needed and needs them and needs the whole hypernaturals and stuff.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting thought. Or is this Sublime playing a much bigger game to really screw with them?
I mean,
are both Sublimes working together? I just don't know it.
I don't know.
I mean, because Sublime is this uber intelligent.
He is, but
Yeah, there's a lot of really interesting questions. The first half of this story is interesting. It's a story set in the past. It shows us how they get that rock that's this artifact, uber power thing that has been stolen now.
Yeah.
We find out at the very end one of the people they beat up and capture
is actually one of the members of the Lost Alpha.
of the lost Hypernaturals, the last team that disappeared at the very beginning of the book that we never really saw. That's how the book started out, with them disappearing. Yeah, really cool superhero science fiction kind of book, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, very fun. If you're looking for something that's not the big two, there's a trade out there at least. Trade a couple issues, you'd be caught up to speed on the thing. I think it's really fun. I think it's a really enjoyable, interesting. I keep saying this, but it's a much better version of what kind of the Legion is to some degree. Being kind of a big superhero group. Legion. Really enjoyable. Not this is the place that we talk reviews, but we talk comics. Boom Studio is going to be coming out with a bunch more superhero books. We were at Amazon Comic-Con, and they talked about the fact there's going to be much more superhero books coming out. I forgot to talk about one. I've got a What the Feud coming up where I talk about some books that are coming out and I forgot to talk about Suicide Risk, which I don't really care for the name of, but that sounds pretty interesting too. I mean, what do you do if all the superheroes are gone now and all you got left is supervillains? How do you deal with that? So anyway, some more interesting stuff coming from Boom Studios. I think people need to start paying attention to some of these other companies that are starting to put out superhero books.
Is that the pitch for Suicide Risk? I thought the Suicide Risk was the superheroes are extremely outnumbered by the supervillains.
Let's see, Mike Curie, the first independent ongoing series from
when there are only villains and being a hero makes you a Suicide Risk.
When there are only villains, being a hero makes you a Suicide Risk.
At Comic-Con, he said,
well, yeah.
This is what it is.
That video, the video where he talks about it, the guy, like Carrie talks about it, is up somewhere. I don't know if it's on Boom Studios page or on YouTube, somewhere along those lines. You should be able to find it if you're really interested in that. But anyway, that's kind of off the subject. I'm really enjoying this. It's been a fun book.
I give it a 4.
I give it a 4 also. I mean, it's not knockout artwork and whatnot, but it's
still good.
It's all serviceable for the needs of what we're talking about. Yep. What are we talking about next?
Next up is Legends of the Dark Knight, issue 6.
Still really love this series.
Yep.
I love the out of continuity, the fact that you just kind of tell whatever stories you want to tell in it.
More morals and more villains not being villains.
The fact they're not just pure villains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that, we get
Killer Croc.
a little bit of a well, maybe a happy ending eventually.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, it's just kind of cool. It's kind of
also
cool.
it always seems to be Killer Croc for some reason.
I think a lot of people like Killer Croc.
Yeah.
That was the Michael Oeming. He did the entire thing. He did the art and the writing for one of the stories in there. That was pretty cool. Killer Croc has a pet. Basically, the pet goes wacko. Which was kind of interesting. Questioning humanity. It's really nice anytime they can show us a villain that has something else to them. It makes them a little less two-dimensional. I love the Joker. I like this whole death of the family thing and whatnot. But you almost think, well, no, they added enough to it to not make him two-dimensional. But if you only see one side, then they're less interesting.
See, I think that works for the Joker because I feel like for the Joker, he's just so far gone that there only is that side for him now.
Yeah, but
isn't,
you do see other little bits and pieces of him.
There really isn't anything left of.
Yeah, but if everybody was that way, if all the villains were that way, it would be black.
I mean, because
you're right. So is it.
Lots of the villains, this bad thing kind of happened to them, and thus they became that villain. But
so anyway, if you want to read Batman, but you don't want to jump into the continuity or mixed up continuity or problem with crushing all that continuity in 5 years, or any other problems you might have with the current Batman that's coming out right now, but you want to read Batman, pick this up. Any one of these issues, you don't have to pick all of them up if you don't want to. You can pick up one of them, you can pick up, whatever. They're all fun. They just give you nice little short, 5 or 6 page, most of the time, some of them are a full comic, Batman story by different creators, putting different spins on it and whatnot. Just really an enjoyable book. Yep. They've all been fun.
I give it a 3.
Yeah. This one I give it a 3 too. It was fun. There was not any that really knocked my socks off on that one, but it was still lots of fun. Okay, next I'm going to talk about Phantom Stranger number 6. Go ahead, do like you always do. Next comic.
I like this book. It's weird.
What did you like about it? What made this book better than the last ones have been?
The dialogue! It's a paradox! We're all gonna die! I can feel the universe breaking! See? I liked it. I think it would have been more interesting if it hadn't been Phantom Stranger invading their heads and making them freak out and be all mad at him. I think it would have been just as interesting of a story if it'd been him kind of not befriending, but
right. So
the
premise is he goes to Las Vegas because that's supposedly where he's going to find his family out. Instead of finding his family, he finds the Sons of Trigon playing
high stakes
poker, and Lady Luck is there, which I find really interesting because Lady Luck, I don't know if she's actually a new character or not. I can't remember. I've been trying to dredge my brain, and I just haven't gone on a real search to find out. But I thought Lady Luck was a character that was supposedly, when they first introduced and started talking about Justice League for the New 52, and you saw the main people, Cyborg and Superman, Batman, she was supposedly one of the characters who was off to the side. It was supposed to be a character named Lady Luck. I'm almost positive that's what Jeff Shawn said. But obviously this is not the same character as that. There's no way.
Okay, I was like...
But anyway,
I thought that was actually supposed to be physically Lady Luck, not just somebody that they were calling Lady Luck.
Well,
But-
no. So anyway, so they're playing. He plays high stakes poker with them
With the
basically.
Three Sons of Trigon.
Right, and one of the sons of Trigon is actually pretty respectful and
Well, the
friendly,
oldest-
and of course the other two kind of want to pick a fight, being typical demon type thing.
Oh.
Well, I don't want to get into the whole thing because we take forever on this one book, and it's not that good
but-
for us to take that much time on
But
it.
I really like it.
Anyway, so he's playing this game, and of course he wants to win because he wants what he wants out of it, and so he's messing with them. And towards the end of it, the one nicer, more reasonable of the Trigon goes, look, we might have been allies, but you did try picking all of our heads and whatnot, and I'm pissed off and whatnot. And what you're saying is it might have been cool if they could have been some
Yes,
sort of allies.
that would have been.
You're right. You're right. It would have been. That would have been cool. But it's also cool that they took the time to write this story to even give us the possibility of it,
True.
which is leaps and bounds above. You're right, above what we had been getting in the last 5 prior issues.
I still don't like Doctor 13. I hope he dies.
Yeah, this 13. I don't know if he dies. He's just not that interesting. I mean, explain to me how it is that he just happens to be able to watch all the magical people all the time. How
Yeah,
what?
how does that work? No,
yeah.
no.
Yeah, I need some more information on exactly how that works for me to really buy into that and whatnot. Dialogue was much better in this.
Oh, the dialogue.
Still preachy.
But see, you know what? Okay, you're saying it's preachy, and it was, but I think that kind of works just
Because fan writers-
because they're all removed from time. I mean, kind of. Well, not kind of. They are. They're removed from time. Please, they're playing high stakes poker in a room where billions of universes
Are
are
colliding
colliding with
all
each
at
other
once,
at the
right.
same time. So they're all separated from time.
They're
So I
very
think it's-
they're very cosmic beings.
I think it's
without a doubt.
okay for them to be somewhat preachy. I don't look at the Three Sons of Trigon and think, I bet they'd make great small talk. I don't. I mean, I do love how they're talking about how, how the youngest brother has anger issues. And it's like, oh no, really? This just being after he sticks the cards on his head and then stabs himself through?
Yeah, with a dagger, right?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe a little anger.
Yeah.
Eh.
Yeah. I still think that's the writer. The scripter is a little on the, But at the same time, you could also view it this way, is that because these characters, whereas they may not actually really be aspects of God per se, or doing officially God's work. They're doing the voices work, whatever the heck that is. They kind of imply that it's godly. I mean, they have up to this point. So being kind of preachy and sermony to some degree works for the character.
Yeah.
I think that the Spectre is the rage aspect of it and can be preachy too and whatnot. I guess. Does that mean the question's going to be the same way?
I don't know.
Is Paradox going to be the same way?
I don't know.
Because they're all aspects of sin and whatnot.
I don't know.
So it'll be interesting. That's my only beef with it, is it gets a little heavy-handed as far as that goes. Yes, should he be casually chatting like Constantine does and whatnot? No, because that would match the Phantom Stranger character. And I guess maybe part of it is the fact is that they can't have the Phantom Stranger look like the Phantom Stranger in other books because there wouldn't be much to the comic book because he wouldn't say anything. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Much better. Love the artwork. The artwork's gotten a lot better. I like the artists. There were a couple artists that worked on it. I like them. They worked fine and whatnot. So it was a definite improvement. I mean, I actually not dreading the next comic. I'm not sure I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not dreading it. What would we rate this book?
I think I'd give it a 3.
I give it a 3 also. Okay, what are we talking about next?
Next up is Shadow Man, issue 5.
Love the cover. I'm enjoying this book. It feels like we're getting kick-started now. I hope next issue really goes somewhere, because this was another issue of oh man, sorry we sat. I mean, the beginning has this whole Bishop thing going on. Bishop? Was that what it was? No, what's the guy's name? Baron. This Baron storyline going on that of course we're going to crash into at some point here. The middle section is our main character. It's more, boy, we saddled you with a lot of responsibility.
Yeah,
sorry about that. Okay, we've had a couple comics of that now. We need to get off that and move forward, in my opinion. Obviously they show us the dire consequences of him being who he is. The waitress that we liked and whatnot gets shot to hell. The diner gets shot up and whatnot.
Yeah.
So that's bad, obviously. And then of course at the end of this we get this whole other heavy aspect
Yeah.
of Dark, isn't that his name?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Basically finding the head god entity of voodoo.
Death.
Yeah, right. Hid in a mansion in the shadow realm, and he's going to either
Return
use
him
him
to
or
power.
return him to power. He's going to use him. I mean, that's really what it's
Well,
about.
yeah, but he's still gonna return to power.
So, it'd be really cool. I still really enjoyed the art, but for me, I enjoyed the book, but it really needs to, next issue really needs to
me
be,
to move on.
right.
Yep.
You need to be seeing some Shadow Man and seeing some stuff moving.
Yep.
What will we rate them? You got anything else you want to say about
Nope, not really. Not that you didn't cover.
it? Okay.
I'd give it a 3.
Yeah, it's probably where I'm at too. Okay, next we're going to talk Red She-Hulk, number 63.
I love this cover.
Frank Avella cover.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Frank Avella does really great classic cars kind of look and whatnot. And
Right.
of course, the classic cars do roll through this thing all the way because, of course, Machine Man has
Great taste.
has great taste in these convertibles they seem to be getting, which is pretty awesome. Because he's stealing the car. It's like, oh yeah, it's great. You steal these cars all the time. And what kind of hero are you? And he's like, oh well, I just looked at my database and it shows this guy owns a whole bunch of these, a whole fleet of cars, so he's not going to miss this one, other than not having to ride home from lunch.
Nice.
So,
Yeah, I like this. I guess, it was just fun.
I like the comic. I think this whole Echelon thing is pretty cool. The Shield stuff where they're going after him was relatively interesting. They almost messed him up.
Yeah.
They're taking the oxygen is an interesting way to deal with the Hulk.
Uh-huh.
So obviously she can't breathe in space.
No.
Because I thought the Incredible Hulk could, but I don't know that for sure. I guess
I don't know.
I have no idea. So obviously the way to deal with her is taking oxygen away from her and stuff. So now Shield's dropped going after him because
Yeah.
it's kind of too complicated for them and whatnot.
It was like, we're gonna take down this Hulk. Hulk smash. No.
But we're starting to show a chink in the Echelon program too. That
Yeah.
one guy is totally rogue. He incinerates some
He
citizens.
incinerates a homeless person.
Yeah, just
Who
incinerates.
does that?
Not good guys, that's for sure. They take him down and whatnot, and of course the general's saying, "Oh, they weren't a problem until
She-Hulk showed up.
She-Hulk messed them up."
Red
which,
She-Hulk, right.
yeah. So they're still on the hunt for the girl. They've got another place to go. Of course, now they've got the mole guy at the end,
Yeah.
but that's not Mole Man though.
No, it's not.
He called himself something different. I don't remember what it
Yeah, I
was.
don't remember what.
But he looks like a half mole person and half mole man almost.
Yeah.
It's really
Should be interesting.
yeah, to see exactly how that works out and whatnot. Once again, sidetracking them from what their main goal is and whatnot. But fun.
Yeah.
Fun issue. This one wasn't as plot revealing as
Right.
what some of those have been, but still fun and moving the comic forward. Glad I got it, glad I'm getting it. What we rate it? I give it 3.
Yeah, 3.
We're just full of average today. Okay, what are we talking about next? Oh man. Go ahead.
Next up is Stormwatch, issue 18.
Okay, so obviously these creators are coming off this book and they completely phoned this in. It was bad. It was just all around bad. The art wasn't that good. The writing was horrific.
That was
For
really
Milligan,
bad.
I could not believe how bad this was. Oh, let's just finish this up.
Oh, it was just bad.
If you weren't getting this book, you're thinking about getting it because Jim Starlin's coming on, please make sure you wait till the Jim Starlin book because this was
at issue 18. It's not a good idea.
it was bad.
It was terrifying.
It was so disappointing because it's been exciting up to this
Yeah,
point. This
mhm.
whole craziness with the engineer and stuff. It's like holy crap, and then the simple answer to the whole was.
I'm gonna miss Jenny Quantum.
Well, we'll see what comes next. There might be a Jenny Quantum. I don't remember. I can't remember now.
I don't think so. I don't think there's a Jenny Quantum in the lineup. In the new lineup.
No Century maybe.
There's some other Jenny, but not Jenny Quantum.
Did I say Jenny Sparks?
Yeah, I
That doesn't
think-
make sense because that was the Jenny from the Authority. We're in the next millennium. It should be a different
yeah,
Jenny.
I know.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how that works. So exactly. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, that was
Century babies do live forever, we think. So.
no. They live 100 years.
Oh.
And then they die.
Okay.
And then another one is born.
Oh, cool.
So they don't cross each other.
Yeah.
I don't think. I think literally you've got 100 years and then you're gone, and then the next one takes off.
Cool.
Pretty sure.
Well, okay, all right. New 52. Sorry, I was thinking along planetary terms,
Right.
where, like, it was
Sure.
2004 in planetary, and Elijah was born in 1900.
You're right. Right.
Mhm.
You're right. Yeah, horrible comic.
Yeah, no, it was dumb. It was really bad.
The dialogue was horrible.
It was terrifying. It
The
was just-
stuff between Midnighter
It was
and-
just bad, okay? We don't need to spend this much time on it.
Okay.
It's bad.
What
I
do we
give
rate
it
it?
a 1.
I give it a 1 also.
Next comic.
Swamp Thing, issue
Ah.
18.
Oh, this was a very satisfying end. I'd kill to own the page of art with Alec and
Hear that? He'll kill.
Kill. I will kill
Kill.
you. Don't
Kill
buy
me?
it. No, not you. Don't buy it. Don't buy the art page.
I don't think that page is ever gonna
I
be
will
for
track
sale.
you down and I will kill you. No. It's such an awesome page.
Which one?
I think it's a little past that.
The kiss?
Yeah.
This one?
Yes.
This page?
Yes. That page. With the kiss and then the green hand and the skeletal hand, like parting or
Mm-hmm.
reaching out to each other. You can't really tell. That's part of what makes it so awesome. Yeah, that would be an awesome page to own. It's a very satisfying end as they absolutely kill. Wow, okay, Alec, you went down pretty easy. Just saying. I feel like it really didn't take much for his human body to. After his human body gets run through so many times.
Well, he loses an arm, gets run through a bunch more. This one.
Yeah, I know, but still, I mean, he gets stabbed so much throughout the series so far, and his human body doesn't die.
But he
And
didn't
now
get
this-
stabbed. But he didn't get stabbed by Anton,
True.
making it all the difference.
I don't know, still. But, even though it felt like his human body went down a little bit easy, I see why they did that, still.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I liked it.
This issue for me made the whole Rot World Swamp thing worth it.
Mm-hmm.
It was a beautiful ending.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful ending, and it's kind of a tragic
Kinda
ending.
depressing.
Well, yeah, a tragic ending, but at the same time, no. I mean, yes, she had to embrace the rot, and obviously the two of them can never really be together because obviously as soon as they touch, they basically burn each other up and whatnot. It's horrific as far as that goes. But at the same time, she embraces the rot, and the rot is not this evil thing.
No,
It's a part of the whole function, which
Yeah.
is of course makes sense from the
Well,
beginning.
yeah, it was never supposed to be. I mean,
Right.
I don't remember. It was like, I don't know, like halfway through Swamp Thing to now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
This
Somewhere around, like,
issue had the total payoff that Animal Man didn't have.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but like I don't know, in between like issue 7, like issue 12, I think they were talking about how the rot isn't evil.
Right.
It's like this thing, and just occasionally, sometimes one of the forces gets out of balance. And
One-
there's a little
right.
there's like a little panel, and it shows like some sort of rot person and a red person fighting some big monstrous green looking thing.
Right,
So
right. The planet
I mean,
out of control.
and seeing as the way all the parliaments act, it wouldn't surprise me to see one of the sections go rogue, even if it was. I mean, not just
Not just the
not
rot.
not
right.
just the rot.
Because the rot itself isn't inherently evil.
No,
right?
no, it's not.
It's just another
It's
function
just a
of the whole
thing.
thing.
It just
Yeah, but beautiful comic, beautiful art. It was great.
Yep.
It was a good run.
yeah.
And like I said, very, very, very satisfying ending to the whole thing. I
Yes.
mean, the whole go back in time thing, which is kind of what they basically did.
Kind of cheating. But
But for this, it felt like it worked. It felt like it worked.
Yeah.
So, and I find it interesting. His body's gone now. He really is the Swamp Thing. There's nothing left. And the offer of you can become one of the trees, part of the Parliament. And we'll make the girl who's not ready yet.
the girl, is that Orchid? Who is that?
No, I don't think it's Orchid.
Who
Because they've implied that Orchid's
is
half
also
and
red.
half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is an interesting concept. In
Yes,
its
it
own
is.
right.
But yeah.
So so it'll be interesting. I really I'm looking forward to the next people's work on the thing.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to these shorter arcs that explore other stuff besides just the Rot World.
Arcs that are.
I part of me thinks that Rot World maybe still was a little long.
Yeah.
But this is a very, very, very satisfying ending to a story. Scott
Yes.
Snyder can tie up a story really well at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So what we rate that by?
I give it a 5.
I give it 5 also.
Yep.
It was very good. Very good.
That's
And
it.
that's it. And we'll be back again in a week or so. Have a good one, everybody.